Columbia, Columbia. This is Houston, 1 minute, 30 seconds to LOS. All systems go, over.
Welcome to this demonstration of the iTRAN 8000 transport, the latest transport from NCR. My name's Rob Cooper, and I'm the development manager for the transports group at NCR Waterloo. What we have here today to show you is iTRAN 8000. This is basically built on the tradition of the 7780 transport that you're all familiar with. What we've done with this transport is move it into the 21st century, build it up for what is going to be the sweet spot of the market, first and second pass document processing. This is the unparalleled transport for this application. What we've done is we've taken all the best of the 7780 and improved it to meet this market demand. As you can see, it's a stand-up transport. This transport is keyed to the bulk processing of documents, the throughput. It's not intended to replace sit-down 7780 read and key operations, but for those high-volume applications that you all have. Things we've done for this transport to bring it up to meet those needs are we've added a touchscreen monitor. Most of the operations of this transport can be controlled by touches to the screen, requires very little keying. We've added some key design features here to improve this for this market space. We've included a space in the transport to house the PC controller. Again, you don't have to worry where it's going to sit on the outside if it's going to get in the way of other pieces of operation. We've also added storage location for supplies or maybe even operator personal items that just keep them off the transport. Again, improvement, make it the most efficient workspace. We've provided, considered back fatigue, we've provided a footrest, again, to keep your operator working at maximum efficiency throughout the workday. Other major enhancements, again, to reduce the clutter on the work surface, we've added a keyboard that has an integrated pointing device. Again, you don't have to worry about where to put the mouse during the operation. Again, a clean workspace is an efficient workspace. Other things we've done that aren't as obvious on this transport underneath it are throughput, reliability, serviceability of the transport. We've made this transport, we've taken those factors into consideration. One of the key things we've done from a serviceability point of view is we've put all of the electronics at the front of the transport. Therefore, about 95% of all faults on this transport can be serviced either from the top or the front of the transport. Really, the only time that a service engineer needs to get into the back of the transport is if they have problems with the power system. Again, very infrequently. Again, the benefit of separating the power system from the rest of the system is a safety. The service engineer can quickly go into the electronics change boards without being concerned of being in a high power area. Again, we're aiming for reduce the time of the service call, bring the system back up in the minimum time. Other things we've done with this transport for the 21st century is we've focused on Windows NT as the operating environment and WISE-IP. Any system, 7780 application that runs on the current WISE-IP platform will run this transport with WISE-IP 2.0. It may not take advantage of all of the new features in WISE-IP and the iTRAN, but the application does run. That means there are many applications that you're familiar with that run right out of the box on this transport. Basically, I'll go through the transport and highlight some of the new key improvements we've made to this transport and why it will be the #1 transport in the market. I'll start with the hopper. Again, from the 7780 legacy, it is the high-performance hopper. It has the short item outsort, it has the double feed detects, and the merge hopper, plus the hand drop for exception items. What we've done underneath the covers in this machine is we've improved the algorithms we use for separating the documents and controlling the inter-document gap. We haven't actually increased the track speed on this unit because The track speed we have, we believe, is the best one for transporting those first and second pass documents and minimizes the number of jams. But what we did do is we much better control the inter-document gap. Basically, it's 3.5 inches plus or minus a ½ inch on every document. That allows us to get more documents through in the same amount of time compared to a 7780. The other things, and you won't actually see it on this transport, we've actually done some improvements in the feeder paddle to allow the operator to keep the transport running at maximum efficiency. We don't have it on this unit. This is something we uncovered and came up with a new design when we were out in the field testing this unit. It will be in production units, and it is an improvement. Other things we can do is we've, with our basically the image reader section of the transport in here, we offer you the same sorts of features you had with the 7780. Binary and gray level image, single height MICR, dual height MICR, OCR reading. A major improvement on OCR is we can now provide 2 full OCR lines right across the item at full track speed, no degradation in speed. One major thing we've added with the ILM is we've allowed now for operator replaceable bulbs. If a bulb goes out, the operator can access the bulbs. It'll be quite obvious which bulb is burnt out. They can change it, bring the unit back into operation very quickly. On the 7780, the bulbs were in behind the machine, and it required a service call to have a bulb changed. Again, this reduces a service call and also brings the unit back into service immediately. The next unit here is quite different from a 7780. It's the encoder. What we've done on the encoder is we've taken the basic technology we had with the 7780 and we've enhanced it to allow us to encode at full track speed. What that means is if you had a 7780, you actually reduce your performance by about 20% when you went to encoding. With iTRAN, the performance is identical whether you're encoding or not encoding, same throughput. What we did is we utilized 2 encoders. The reason we've done that, we didn't want to introduce any risk of new technology reducing the actual encode quality. We want the same encode quality as we had before with the 80. We also wanted to add the ability of redundancy. If an encoder, which is a very complex piece of the machine, malfunctions, the system can automatically default to using just the one encoder that's still functioning properly. Your throughput may drop in half because of that, but you're not blown right out of the water. The machine will still function. It still functions in a degraded mode until the service personnel comes. Again, it keeps the availability up and maximizes your throughput. Other things we've done with the encoder is we've given it so that, designed it so that the track can open. This allows the track to be cleaned, items to be removed easily going around the bends, from a serviceability point of view or operator efficiency point of view. The track opens. We've also have, in the high drive sections, the idlers are released without having to open any covers. Again, this aids the operator in bringing the transport back into full operation after an item jam. One of the key improvements, the second one, the ILM lights being the first, are these openable hammer banks on the encoders. The biggest problem with encoders is they use very strong magnets. Staples that remain in the items get yanked right off them as they pass in the encoder. They jam in the hammers, and basically with the 7780, it's a service call to get those repaired. Your unit is out of commission. With the iTRAN, the hammer banks open up, and the operator is able to go in, remove the offending debris, bring the unit back into operation, and continue processing. A major enhancement both in throughput and in elimination of service calls. The third major improvement we have is in the endorser section. What we've done in here, it may not be apparent, but what we've done in this unit is we're using a new endorser head. And the major enhancement of this is that it has a closed loop ink system. You don't have any of the problems with purging or basically getting all the lines of the endorser to print properly. This has been very effective. Our biggest issue when taking it out to customers, when we've gone out to field trial this particular unit, is that we couldn't get the unit actually to fail and require a purge or a priming of the endorser to be able to demonstrate how quickly this new technology brings back on stream if you ever do have a problem. But it is a major enhancement. it's such a key enhancement and actually relatively easy for us to introduce. This is the one key feature in iTRAN that we're immediately putting into the 7780 line as well. The next module down is the pocket. Again, it doesn't look that much different from the 7780, but there are two key features which I'll actually, when we're demonstrating the operation with documents that we've added here. One is we've added actually a pocket empty switch that tells us there's absolutely no items in the pocket. That allows us to restart the transport with minimal or no operator intervention once a pocket is filled and cleared. The other thing is basically to provide some illumination, some lights, to tell the operator which pocket is full. The biggest problem in high volume sites with an 80 and you get a pocket is the transport stops. The operator at that point doesn't even know why the transport stopped. They have to return back to the screen and read the message that says, oh, the transport stopped, pocket 12 or 3B, some indication of which pocket is full. Depends on the application how it's indicated as well. The operator then has to go down to the pocket, find out which pocket. You can have up to 40 pockets. It could be a long journey. Remove the items, and then they're stuck with the issue of how do I restart it? Typically, they have to walk back to the keyboard, start the transport up again, and go. Many times they may have emptied the wrong pocket. What do operators do? Well, they found the easiest thing is anytime there's a pocket full, they empty all the pockets. It takes a lot of time. What will happen here is we actually guide them directly to the pocket with the light. We'll show that when we actually have it in operation. One thing we have here with the work surface, it's been changed from the 7780. Again, we tried to keep it uncluttered with the keyboard, but another thing we've done is we've added a section of the counter over at this end. It's there basically to assist the operator, to give them a good surface to prepare the documents as they put them in the hopper. It's a bit small to actually hold a document tray, but that wasn't its intent. Typically, you have numerous document trays. They're on carts. The idea is here just to give them, they've taken the items maybe out of a jogger. They need to just, handle them a bit, set them up before putting them into the hopper. Again, I'll start the hopper here. Again, this is it's running much quicker than it would on a 7780. I'm actually running it in a mode right here without the encoder on, so we've actually passing all the documents just down one of the track. The reason we do this is basically the documents are in high speed and free flight. We don't want them actually any possibility of getting the documents out of order because they're moving at such a high speed. The pocket is actually filling up. I'm artificially just filling up one pocket just to demonstrate what we have here. And what you'll see in a moment is the pocket will become full and the transport automatically stops. It indicates to the operator with a blinking light, this is the pocket that needs to be emptied. They can empty the item and the transport immediately starts up again without the operator having to go back and enter anything into the keyboard. Again, just like the 80, the hopper is load on the fly. Again, no interruptions in document flow. With WiseIP, if there actually is a pocket jam, and I'll create one just by opening the track, the transport is stopped. It actually tells us where the jam was from the WiseIP screen. It tells us we have a jam in the front endorser or encoder area. I'll actually close the track for the item that was there. Again, remove the items without opening any covers. Pull the items out of the track. And now I'm into recovery. I've cleared the item. WiseIP, this isn't the application, this is the base WiseIP, indicates which items I need to rerun to complete. I'm just going to do it from the code line here. Put them in the hand drop. Again, no other interaction. That document is completed. Basically, the WiseIP assists the operator in processing the document. Again, start the hopper, and we're back running with the transport. We'll actually show some encoding now. I've stopped the transport. I'm basically going to change it so that I actually go to an encode mode. I'm going to start encoding E13B. Just put some variable data on it. Say OK. And I'll start the hopper. As you now see, the documents are passing through both tracks on the encoder. We don't really have an issue here with the documents getting out of sequence because they're actually stopped in front of each encoder. We don't have any issues with documents getting out of sequence, and that's why we're confident in using the 2 tracks. But again, this is still running at the full 600 documents per minute burst speed, maximizing your overall throughput. Again, this is a basic sample application we're using with WiseIP, but a lot of the screens that come up with this application are the ones that any application would have access to writing an application on top of WiseIP. Yeah, I'll just create a jam here by opening the track to simulate a jam condition. And what you see is actually here on the WiseIP screen, it's actually told us that we have a jam in the front encoder. The screen tells you what to do. As I clear the jam, if I forget to do something like leave a piece of track open, remove the documents, which I'll do just as an example here, I'll say to continue, and it actually tells me that there's still some things I haven't done. It says to check for some items removed or for the track piece to be open, and I can actually find 2 pieces of track I didn't open. The hammer bank and that piece of track. And I've left a document in here. I can continue on here. It now gives me a list of the items that I need to reprocess. I've just pulled them out, so I'll just say to continue, and I don't need to actually reprocess these ones right at the moment. And now I'm ready to go again, and I start the hopper. Again, even with an unskilled operator, we're back up and running very quickly. Things we haven't shown you on this model of the iTRAN. Certain features you can order that aren't here. This unit just had a rear endorser. You can actually order with a front endorser as well. We also sell a roll-on endorser with this unit for bank stamps if that's a requirement for your applications. We also sell a downstream ILM module, similar capabilities to the upstream. You can have binary image, front or rear, gray level imaging, front or rear. You can also get a MICR verifier within your downstream ILM or as a separate unit if you don't require downstream image lift. Again, you can order up to 10 pocket modules, 40 pockets in total. We also will sell a microfilmer. The microfilmer is the only module that actually degrades the overall performance of the unit. Basically, microfilmer is a legacy module. Sales of microfilmers are decreasing every year. We didn't want to invest a lot of money in providing a microfilmer that would run at 600 DPM. So if you do install a microfilmer, it will degrade the performance of the unit to 500 DPM. But we believe most of our customers will not require microfilmer, and in the long term, any microfilmers that are sold will migrate out of the units as the need in the market is eliminated. One of the other key improvements we've made to the iTRAN is when it comes to installation time. One of the biggest problems with a 7780, if you put the system together, was that you had to get all the track modules aligned. One of the things we've done with this transport is we've actually maybe made that problem potentially worse by actually breaking the transport up into many sections. Okay? The reason we've broken the transport up into many sections is to allow us the design freedom as new technology or changes in technology come, the freedom to take advantage of that technology. We're not fixed to a fixed frame size. We can vary it as required to meet the needs of the customer or the technology we want to utilize. One of the key things we've actually done, and it was just one of those bright ideas from a developer, is we've have these stainless steel pins that join the 2 modules. What this allows us to do, it's very close to the center line of the track and basically allows the modules to self-align. If you ever saw someone installing a 7780 or any other transport, a large part of the installation is the field engineer actually lining up the track segments between the modules. With iTRAN, there's no need for that. The items basically self-align as you bolt the system together. So this is a major enhancement. And again, this is all with our view to the future. This is the platform NCR will develop all item processing transports going forward. The encoder. There are people that do not do encoding on all machines, do not do encoding at all. The encoder is a very complex, expensive module. We do sell basically a stager module that replaces the encoder with a low-cost stager, which still allows the full-speed operation, allows applications to take as much time as they require before processing each document, so it still allows the maximum performance, but eliminates the need to purchase an expensive encoder. This is iTRAN 8000. We're very proud of it, and we're sure it will meet your needs in the today and in the future. Again, we hope you enjoyed the presentation, and feel free to ask our representative any questions you may have.